Tiana here from Mind Body Movement Center. I am coming to you with this video on some yoga practices that you can do when you're maybe not feeling well, when you're sick. And I'm thinking more like upper respiratory kind of stuff like sinus infection or cold, perhaps even the flu. I went to search for a session yesterday when I wasn't feeling so good, and I came up with yoga with Adriene, which I normally like some of her stuff, but this one particularly didn't make sense to me. It was a lot of forward folds, which when you're congested doesn't feel good. I wanted more hip motion, to get out of that little cashew shape that I've been sitting in all day. And when you're thinking Ayurvedically, a kapha presentation is one with congestion and that upper respiratory type of stuff. And so you want more kind of chest opening and lifting and opening up the rib space to get that udan prana going upward and outward rather than a pan vayu or prana going downward energy, which a lot of her poses were. So I wanted to just bring this one to you because I'm in the presence of an upper respiratory issue going on. So things that I would want to do if I was actually in this presentation, wanted to give you something to help clear it up and just to make you feel better while you've maybe been sitting around for a bit. So I'm sorry I don't have my other lights in. I'm just feeling not a lot of energy to put those up, so hopefully you can see me okay. All right, so let's start in a comfortable sitting position, and it does not have to be how I am, cross-legged. You could be sitting in a chair or on the bolster in Virasana or Hero's pose. We're going to start with Kapalabhati breath, which is a breath of fire, right, to heat up that congestion, try to get things moving up and out. It's a facilitator of udan prana, so that upward, outward energy to try to clear some of this stuff out. All right, so allowing the spine to grow tall without being rigid. Take a full inhale and exhale. After your next inhale, we begin. Quick exhales. Full exhale through the nostrils, full inhale. If that feels too overheating, like maybe you have a fever, that might not be your choice for you. So just gauge it if it feels too energizing or you feel lightheaded. But I can already feel some of that movement. Things want to clear out. So let's start to move a little bit here. I'm going to inhale, lifting up through the arms, reaching to the sky. We're going to set one hand down to the floor. Bend that elbow, drop the shoulder away from the ear, rise up and over. Now traditionally, normally I have the gaze going downward here, but I'm going to turn it up today to try to get that upward flow of energy. So you're going to reach through the hand and drive the opposite sit bone down. Good, reaching up, push the floor away from you, sweep that hand to the outside of your thigh and the opposite arm up and over. So we're going to try to get some space into the rib cage here. And again, normally I might look down. Today I'm going to look up just to create that kind of upward chest opening. Great, one more breath, reaching. Exhale, you're going to spin that hand around to the outside of your hip as we come into rotation. So the shoulders are opening from the center. Good, inhale, and then we're exhale back to center. Okay, let's head to the other side. Inhale, rising. Good, exhale, drop your opposite hand to the floor, drop that elbow a little closer to drop the shoulder, and we're going to reach up and over. And again, you could look down if that feels okay. Again, I'm going to take my gaze upward today. So I'm reaching through that top arm to send the opposite sit bone down. Good, take an inhale, reaching. Exhale, rising. You're going to sweep that hand to the outside of that thigh, reaching up and over. And again, I'm going to take my gaze a little bit upward today. Breathing into that whole upside body. Take an inhale, reaching. exhale, release. And we're going to sweep that hand to the outside of that hip as we come into rotation. Breathing to your best ability. I know those nostrils might be a little plugged up, but as much as you can, try to take that breath in that fills your side ribs. Okay. Inhaling and then exhaling, we're back to center. Okay, let's come off of this roost. And we'll come onto hands and knees. We're just going to do a little bit of hip swivels. A little bit of movement here, so let's do more barrel rolls. So I'm going to shift my hips over to one side, lift up and over and down. So I'm not going to really drop my head here because I'm just going to try to keep that open flow. Wanting to get more space into the rib cage here. Good. We're going to pause at the top and then head the other direction. This is just real organic, there's no right or wrong here, just kind of moving into your space, and you could even kind of shift back and forth or side to side. I mean, I know yesterday I'd been on the couch for most of the day, and so I was just like, oh, I want to move all over wherever I can go. So maybe you're shifting the hips to one side and looking over to that side, and then alternate. Coming back to center, let's take cat and mostly cat. We're just going to go into, cow pose. So we're going to go into cow pose on the inhale and then just come back to center, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So I'm not going to really drop the head, but I might lift the shoulders or drop the, lift the belly. So inhale and exhale. From here, let's drop onto the belly. So I'm going to send my feet out a little bit wide. Come with hands to the outside of your shoulders. On your inhale, we're going to lift up. Draw the shoulder blades open. Maybe lift the chin a little bit. On the exhale, come back down. Kind of reverse of the cashew shape that I was in all day yesterday. Last one. All right, coming down, maybe resting the head to one side and rocking the hips a little bit. All right, bringing that right hand down, you're going to reach back and maybe grab your left ankle or thigh or pant leg, or you can use a strap around that to grab onto. Just going to press up with my right arm. If that cross arm position doesn't feel good, you can always do a little bit of a diagonal. And so I'm pressing the floor away from me to lift up, so creating a little bit of energy here, but just enough, depending on how you're feeling energy-wise. Good. One more breath. All right, we're back down. Rest the head to one side. Maybe rock the hips a bit. All right, and then we're back up. Switching sides, so left arm down, right leg comes towards you. You're pressing the floor away from you. And just enough effort between effort and ease. Breathing into the best of your ability, trying to open up the chest space. All right, and then coming back down, rest your head to one side, maybe rock the hips a bit. Press back up, exhale. And let's come into a seated twist. So, bring the legs out. I'm going to bend in your left knee. Take your right leg out. You could keep that leg right there. You could cross it over. I'm going to take the other arm up, inhale, right arm up, and then exhale, wrap that arm around. Hand to the side of the hip. And I'm trying to let the space from the collarbones outwards spill and open as I can breathe in and try to get some space. I've been wanting to put some thieves, essential oil on my chest, but it's at work and I don't feel like going there, so eucalyptus might work, thieves, something to help get your respiratory system open. Good, one more breath. Good, and then I'm gonna have you keep the body position, but then just turn the head very gently the opposite direction, and you're sending that left shoulder back. And again, just the right amount of effort between effort and ease. Great, one more breath. All right, we're back to center. You can always come out before I say. All right, just take it off. All right. We'll bend the right knee in, maybe cross it over, reach the left arm up, inhale, exhale to rotate. Opposite hand comes behind or to the side. And again, that center space from the collarbones out to the shoulders. Okay, one more breath here, and then we're going to keep the body position, but then just start to turn the head towards the left. Slightly. Okay, you're going to take that right shoulder back, see if we can get into those scalenes, the front chest and neck muscles. One more breath. Good. Really trying to create some space in the ribs and the chest and get that upward udan flow. All right. Okay. I so wanted Adriene to do some back bends and chest opening, and she just didn't have any, so I just have a normal pillow from the chair over here, and I'm just going to take it right back behind my low back, upper chest. So if you have a pillow or blanket, folded up blanket, and I just wanted to bring my arms up and over. You could do an energetic reach above you, but I just wanted to rest my head and relax and just create this little passive opening of allowing the belly to expand, chest to get some space. Good. Arms in this position or even up reaching the back wall. You're going to get into those pectorals and biceps and all your chest muscles and kind of out of that cashew shape, out of that curled up shape. Already feel I'm breathing a little easier. One more breath. All right. Come out of this by bending the knees, maybe one knee, and then bring one towards my chest and exhale, or you could roll off the side and exhale your way back up. Okay. So let's try this one. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm just using a bolster to kind of get this positioning a little bit more comfortable for folks. You could use a big rolled up blanket. I'm going to tuck back one foot, and if you can do this hero's pose without, or half hero's pose without the bolster, you're welcome to. I'm just going to use the bolster, one, to create a little bit more opening for my chest, and also two, for folks that can't get this knee position, might be a little more comfortable. This leg, if I don't put anything under, it's just going to be kind of hanging into free space and hyperextending. So I'm going to just plop a little block up underneath my lower thigh. I'm going to start to walk myself back. Now, if this seems vulnerable, like, how am I going to ever get out of that? I just wouldn't do it today. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to put a block up under my head. You could certainly put it up on its next highest side. Just to have a little bit more throat chest opening, almost like you're going into fish pose, but and then I could just keep my arms down here, or I could come up and over. This feels pretty intense on this side, so you could always plop some blankets under your back if it's too much, or stop you here, but you could stop here, and I think I might do that on this side. I'm going to stop here because it's pretty intense. So see, I'm still pressing the floor away from me, trying to lift the chest a little bit, and see if we can get some space from that front thigh all the way up. All right, one more breath. one a little bit to give me some oomph, and I'm going to exhale back up. So just come up slowly, maybe pause. Because that can be pretty intense. All right, let's try the other side. So I'm going to bend that leg back, I didn't show this on the other side, but you can kind of clear that calf space out to give you a little bit more space. Pop that block underneath there. And I'm going to start to walk myself back. See how far I can go this side. All right, I think I'm going to stop there on this side too. I did this earlier and I seem to have more space, but right now this is about it. So if you have a lot more flexibility, you're welcome to drop your head back. I'm just going to stay right here. Press the arms down to the floor a little bit, lift the chest, breathe into that whole front side body. See, I feel like I could go down a little bit on this side, yeah. All right, one more breath. Such a delight from being all crunched up. Okay, still want to leave. All right, start to bend that opposite leg. Let your hands down, maybe one hand under the head. Kind of give you a boost up, exhale, or roll off the side. All right, that was a delight. Okay, let's bring ourselves off of that roost. And I'm going to actually turn this way so that I have some space. Bring some blocks in here. That's going to be back. Actually, I think I want a little bit of, when you're congested, you don't want to probably be laying too flat on the floor. Having something to boost up your head is ideal. Even a little bit higher than this if you're pretty congested. What was I doing? The mind is a little slow. So let's bring the feet to the outer sides of the mat. We're going to go into windshield wipers, which can be so great for clearing out that upper chest, front hip space. So we're going to drop the knees over to one side. You're going to reach. So if I'm dropping my knees to my right, my left arm's going to come up and back. I'm reaching. So I'm dropping that left knee down to the ground as I try to reach, and you can lift that hip up. Breathing into this whole side body. And then we're back to center and then off to the other side. I'm just going to go one more to each side, but you're welcome to do more or stay a little longer. Yeah, this left side. Whew. Gosh, I can feel my airways just clearing, feels great. Let's now come into butterfly. So I'm going to send my hips out. So I know yesterday I was just so wanting my hips to just be open a little bit because I was just in that curled up shape most of the day. So I'm just going to bring the blocks out. If you don't need the blocks, you're welcome to go without or even use more support. All right, and then I might bring my arms out to the side or in kind of in that cactus shape or even just in that clasped under the head shape just to get a little bit more space into my upper body. Find some ease in your effort with each exhale. Certainly stay a little bit longer. I'm going to start to make my way out, exhaling the knees back. Maybe bringing knees to chest and just rocking a bit side to side. All right, let's go into a reclined pigeon or figure four on your back. So throw the needle, some different names. Draw one ankle to the thigh, grasp behind. Actually, I like to grab onto my knee and my foot here. This version is okay. I just like to be able to direct this leg a little bit more. So I can kind of give a downward pressure on that knee and that comes down towards my hip socket. Take that leg up maybe, just do some ankle circles. Alright, I'm going to come back down, just cross that leg all the way over, let the legs drop off to the left if you've got your right leg up. Let my arms sweep out to the side. Get through that whole side body onto your pectorals and your biceps. Like releasing all those coughing, sneezing muscles. Exhaling, coming back to center, maybe knees to chest. One breath, and then we're back down. Set the other ankle to the opposite thigh, depending on what you started with. And again, you can grab behind that thigh. You can take the foot and the knee, as I like to do. I'm giving a little downward pressure on that left knee towards my hip socket. Relaxing the shoulders. Alright, you're certainly welcome to stay longer. I'm just going to cross that over, take the other side out, sweep that arm out to the side. Caveat on any of these twists or rotations that we've been doing. And if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, just don't overly aggressively do these rotations or twists. You can certainly rotate a little bit. It's natural to be able to do that, but just don't overdo. Breathe into that upside body. Alright, on the exhale, we're going to bring that back up, maybe knees to chest. If you haven't noticed, this is really about me, not about you. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm telling you though, I'm doing this right in the moment because this is what I need when I'm not feeling well, especially with this upper respiratory stuff. Okay, so I am going to demonstrate this kind of happy baby with a strap. So draw the straps over the top and then the feet up towards the sky, bend the knees in. You can certainly grab onto your feet if you have that range, so you're coming on the inside of those knees. And then I love bows and arrows. So reaching out. You can do this certainly by grabbing onto your feet if you have the range of motion, or just using your strap. Stay as long as you want in each position. You don't have to rush through. And just trying to create some openness. You can bring the legs open wide. Get those hamstrings. Maybe just get tight from sitting when you're not feeling well. Alright. And we'll bring it back in. Good. You could rest for a little shavasana. I know yesterday I just wanted to lay out here. And maybe with the arms out, legs out. Extend those legs away from the cashew shape. Alright, open those knees. We'll start to make our way up. You're going to roll onto one side and exhale your way back up. Come to a sitting position, resting. Maybe hands to namaste. Is that a good one for this? Let's do lotus. Lotus is an upward udan mudra, so lotus mudra. I like to place the thumbs just along the chest space. As you inhale, this upward lifting breath. As you exhale, maybe mouth open. 2 more. hands maybe to Namaste hands, Anjali Mudra, prayer, however you like to think of this, or Hijraya Mudra with one hand over the other. And bowing to a place within you where you recognize gratitude and acknowledging at least one more thing in your life to be grateful for today. Maybe it's for your coming health, or the fact that you can breathe a little bit better, or your hips feel amazing now. Sending that gratitude beyond those walls around you, palms coming together, holding on to that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. Breathing in and breathing out. Namaste.